Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so grateful that the universe has guided you to this space today. I truly hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world and whenever this reading finds you. Today's reading is all about what you can expect to happen over the next quarter, the next 3 months of your journey. We'll be exploring the energies surrounding the chapter of your life, the opportunities that may be approaching you, the challenges that could help shape your growth, and what the universe wants you to prepare for, and the guidance that may help you navigate the season with greater clarity and confidence. Now, before you choose a pile, I want to gently remind you that tarot doesn't exist to tell you that your future is fixed. Instead, think of these cards as a snapshot of the energy surrounding you in this present moment. Energy is always moving and changing, and ultimately, your choices, your intuition, and your actions are what shapes your path. If you feel called to one pile immediately, trust that feeling. If you're drawn to more than one pile, that's perfectly okay too. Sometimes different piles speak to different areas of our lives, and your intuition already knows what you need most. As always, this is a collective reading. Not every message will resonate with everyone, and that's completely natural. Take what feels aligned with your heart and simply leave behind anything that doesn't. There's no need to force a message to fit. Now, take a moment to look at all three piles in front of you. Don't overthink your choice. Instead, notice which pile gently catches your attention. Which one feels the warmest, the most familiar, or simply keeps drawing your eyes back to it. That quiet pull is often your intuition speaking. Now it's time to choose your pile. This is pile A, represented by the rose quartz. If you're feeling called out to this gentle, heart centered energy, this may be your message. This is pile B, represented by the yellow aventurine. If this crystal keeps catching your energy or your eye and you feel naturally drawn to it, trust that feeling. And this is pile C, represented by pyrite. If you're feeling connected to this crystal's grounding, confident, and abundant energy, this may be the pile for you. Feel free to pause this video if you'd like a little more time to connect with the piles. The timestamps for each pile are listed in the description box and pinned in the comments below. So once you've made your choice, you can jump straight to your reading. Whenever you're ready, let's begin with pile A. Welcome to pile A. If you were drawn to this pile, trust that. Something in you already knows this message is for you. Before I flip a single card. Now, before I show you what came out, I want to say something about the energy I picked up from this pile specifically. Of all the three piles, this one carries the most intentional energy. Not the most dramatic one, not the loudest, and definitely not the most confusing, but the most deliberate one. Like someone who has been making quiet decisions for a while, small but significant ones, and is now standing at the point where those decisions are about to start producing something visible. If that resonates, comment I receive below. This pile is about to show you exactly what that something visible looks like. And I want to point out to something about the final card in this pile. It carries the number 6. In numerology, number 6 is the number of harmony, integration, and the point where efforts begin producing visible results. 6 is where things start clicking, where what you've been building starts to show. That is the energy anchoring the next quarter for pile A, and it sets the tone for everything these three cards are about to say. The Lovers. And this is the card that tells me everything what has been happening in your life leading into this next quarter, and why that period ahead is going to feel so different from what you came before. Now, most people look at the Lovers and immediately go to romance. And yes, this card absolutely carries relationship energy. But the Lovers in tarot is about something much deeper and much more personally significant than just who you are with or who you want to be with. It is a card of alignment, of a choice or a series of choices made from the deepest, most honest part of yourself rather than from fear, obligation, or what someone else needed you to choose. Look at this image. Two figures standing openly beneath an angelic presence, completely unguarded, completely seen. Both of them facing something larger than either of them alone. Now, this is not the image of two people compromising. This is the image of two energies, inner and outer, heart and mind, who you are and how you live, finally pointing in the same direction. For Pi lay people, this card is showing me that either a significant choice has recently been made or one is arriving very soon. And the nature of that choice is not between two people, but between two versions of your own life. Between continuing in a direction that has felt safe but not fully yours, and stepping towards something that feels more aligned with who you actually are, even if it comes with uncertainty. The lovers does not make that choice for you. It shows up when you are finally ready to make it for yourself. And here is what connects this card so powerfully to what is coming in the next quarter. When the lovers comes first and success comes later, this message becomes the right choice creates the right future. When your inner values and outer actions finally match, what follows is definitely not forced. It is natural, it is inevitable. The alignment is happening, or it has just happened, I feel. And that alignment is the seed of everything the next quarter is going to grow. Let's take a look at our next card, the Hermit. And this card is the bridge between the choice the lovers described and the recognition that is coming. This is the card that explains what happened in between and why the next quarter is arriving with the energy it carries. The hermit stands alone in a mountain top, lantern raised, illuminating only the ground directly in front of him. He's definitely not lost. He's not hiding. He chose this. He deliberately stepped away from the noise, the opinions, the distractions of the world around him in order to find something that could only be found in the quiet. That is his own truth, his own direction, his own understanding of what actually matters versus what was simply familiar. This is what you have been doing. Maybe not literally withdrawing from the world, but internally, there has been a period of genuine reflection in your life. A season where you trusted your own knowing more than the voices outside, where you stopped performing certainty that you did not feel and allowed yourself to simply sit with what was true for you, even when what was true was complicated or unclear, or not ready to be shared with anyone else. The Hermit is not a lonely card, despite how it looks. It is one of the wisest cards in the entire deck because the lantern the Hermit carries, the small, steady focus light, is not lighting up the whole world. It is lighting up the next step. And the next step is all you actually ever need. For Pile people, this card is confirming that the quiet period you have been in, whether that looked like pulling back from certain relationships, reassessing certain priorities, or simply spending more time inside your own head than usual, was never wasted time. It was preparation. Every moment of that solitude was the hermit raising his lantern a little higher, illuminating a little more of the path forward for you. And here is the connection that makes this card so significant in the context of your next quarter. The Hermit and the Success card that follows share one of the most beautiful symbolic relationships in this entire reading. Solitude was never isolation, it was incubation. The wisdom you gathered alone is now about to start producing something visible to you. The recognition that is coming in the next quarter is not arriving despite the quiet period you have been in. It is arriving because of it. The hermit withdraws, success emerges. That is the sequence these cards are describing for your next 3 months. Now, let's take a look at your Osho message from the universe. Wow, we have success. And I really want you to look at this card before I say anything about it because the image alone tells you everything about the kind of success that is coming for Pile in the next quarter. A tiger walking through a forest, flowers and petals bursting around it. And a tiger is not running, not chasing anything, not performing for anyone. It is simply walking. Wow, such a beautiful message to get from the universe. The tiger here is absolutely complete, unhurried, unshakable confidence is what I can feel from this card. Now, nothing is forcing it forward, nothing is chasing it from behind. It simply moves through its environment as if it belongs there completely, as if belonging there is the most natural thing in the world for it. That is the energy of what is coming for you. This is not the Osho Zen success card by accident that you've got. Because what this card represents is not the conventional idea of success. The trophy, the applause, the external validation, the moment someone finally tells you that you made it. What it represents is something far more profound and far more lasting than any of those things. Osho taught something that goes against almost everything the world tells us about achievement. He said, when you stop chasing success, success starts chasing you. Not as a passive idea, as a lived reality. The ego wants applause. Awareness simply enjoys expressing itself. And real success, the kind that does not evaporate when the attention goes away, is not measured by trophies. It is measured by inner fulfillment. And ironically, deeply, almost paradoxically, that inner fulfillment is exactly what creates outer success too. That is what is coming for Pile in the next quarter. Not success that you forced, not recognition you convince someone to give you. Success that arrives because you have become someone in it naturally follows. And the alignment of the lovers, the wisdom of the hermit, and now the natural, effortless, unforced flowering of what those two things created together is this. And remember the number on this card 6. In numerology, like I said, 6 represents harmony, integration, the point where effort begins producing visible results. 6 also represents Venus. 6 represents success, beauty, and a lot of beautiful and good things. 6 is a number where things start clicking, where the dots connect for you, where what you have been quietly building starts to show up in ways what others people can see and acknowledge. Doors are opening more easily for you, momentum building without force for you, and other people beginning to notice what you have been carrying all along. A feeling quiet but real and unmistakable. The things are finally clicking for you. Not because you finally convinced the world of your worth, because you finally stopped needing to. Let me bring all of these 3 cards together and give you a complete picture of what the next quarter is showing for Pile. This spread flows almost like a story. It is one of the most complete, most hopeful stories I've pulled out in a long, long time. It begins with the lovers, a conscious, heart led choice, a moment of alignment between who you are and how you are choosing to live. Not a forced decision, not one made from fear or from what was expected of you, one made from the deepest, most honest part of yourself. Then comes the hermit, the quiet that followed that choice, the stepping back, the reflection, the season of trusting your own knowing more than outside noise. What looked from the outside like withdrawal was actually the most important work you have done in a really, really long time, I feel. Because that solitude that you have been in was never isolation. It was preparation for you, preparation for something far beautiful that was coming. The lantern being raised a little higher with every quiet day that passed. And then, lastly, we have the success. The tiger walking without chasing. Recognition arriving not because you forced it, but because you became someone it naturally follows. First, choose consciously, then know yourself deeply, and then success becomes inevitable. This is the arc of your next quarter, Pile. And what I loved most about this spread is what it says about the nature of what is coming. The recognition, the momentum, the doors opening more easily for you. And none of it is arriving because you finally convinced anyone of anything. It is arriving because the lover's alignment and then the hermit wisdom have done their work. Your outer life simply beginning to reflect who you truly are on the inside. Real success is not something you chase. And I'm really loving how all of this is falling for you. Really, it's a very beautiful, beautiful spread. The success arrives when your heart makes the right choice. Your soul finds its own wisdom, and your outer life finally begins reflecting who you truly are. That is it, Pile. This is your next quarter. Trust it and receive it. As I hold this pile, I'm going to take a quiet moment to connect with its energy. If this is your pile, simply breathe, relax, and allow yourself to receive whatever messages are meant for you today. Welcome, Pile B. If this pile called to you, there is a reason for that. The energy coming through this pile before I even touched the cards felt very solid, very purposeful, like someone who has been doing the work for a while and is now standing at a point where that work is about to pay off in ways that are tangible, real, and almost impossible to ignore. If that sounds like where you are right now, comment I receive below, because what these three cards are showing for your next quarter is one of the most complete and satisfying arcs that I have seen in a long time. And before I flip these cards, I want to point out to something about the final card in this pile. It carries the number 8. In numerology, number 8 is a number of momentum, mastery through experience, and power in motion. Now, not the kind of power that sits still and accumulates, the kind that moves, the kind that expands, that takes everything that has been built and carries it forward into something far bigger. 8 is the energy of someone who has earned their momentum and is now ready to use it. That is the energy anchoring pile B's next quarter. And it gives context to everything these cards are about to show you. The Emperor. And this card immediately tells me something very specific about what has been happening in your life, leading this into your next quarter, and why the foundation you are standing on right now is more solid than you might currently be giving yourself credit for. Now, the Emperor is one of the most commanding figures in the entire tarot deck. He sits on a stone throne, not a comfortable chair, but a stone throne. In his full armor, scepter in his hand, and surveying everything around him with the calm certainty of someone who has built something real. There is no anxiety in this figure, no performance, no convincing, and just the quiet, settled authority of someone who knows what they have created and trusts what it can hold. That is the energy you have been embodying, leading into this exact next quarter. Now, for Pile B people, the Emperor is showing me a period of genuine building, of taking responsibility seriously, of showing up consistently even when consistency was hard, of making disciplined choices, the one that does not always feel exciting in the moments. But you knew you were right for the long term. And career decisions made carefully here, boundaries established thoughtfully, a life being constructed with intention rather than just allowed to happen around you. Now, the emperor is deeply respected for that. Do remember that. Not liked by everyone, but respected. There is a difference between the two. The emperor does not need universal approval. He needs the structure he has built to hold, and for pile B, that structure is holding strongly. Now, here is a connection between the emperor and what comes later in this pile, specifically the traveling card that I find genuinely fascinating at the end. The emperor builds, travels more, and together they say something very important. Building a strong foundation, but do not build a prison. Discipline gives you the freedom to explore. Always remember that. Without structure, movement becomes chaos. But without movement, structure becomes, and eventually it will become stagnation for you. The emperor in your next quarter is not the end point. He is the launch pad for you. The solid ground you have created is not something to stay locked inside. It is something to step off from confidently into what comes next. Let's take a look at your next card. We have the Nine of Cups. And wow, after the Emperor, the Nine of Cups feels like a breath. Like the moment after you have finished building something and now you finally stop to look at what you've created and let yourself actually feel good about it. The Nine of Cups is known throughout tarot as the wish card, the card of emotional fulfillment, of having exactly what you hope for, and more importantly, knowing it. The figure in this card sits with nine golden cups arranged in an arc behind him, and he looks satisfied, not performing satisfaction for anyone, not telling himself he should feel grateful, just quietly, gently, deeply content with where he is and what he has. That is what is arriving for Pile B in the next quarter. A moment or a series of moments of genuine satisfaction, of looking at what you have built with the Emperor energy and actually letting yourself feel the fullness of it. Not minimizing it, not immediately moving to what still needs to be done. Just sitting with the reality of what you have created and allowing that reality to feel as good as it actually is. For Pile B people, this card is significant because it speaks to something that disciplined, responsible, emperor energy people often struggle with. Receiving, enjoying, letting the achievement land rather than immediately stacking the next goal on top of it before the current one has been properly celebrated. The Nine of Cups in the next quarter is a universe giving you the permission to feel good, to recognize that the consistent effort, the disciplined choices, the showing up when it was hard, it produced something very real for you. And that something real deserves to be acknowledged and enjoyed rather than immediately left behind in pursuit of the next thing. And here is the connection to the traveling card that follows. It is one of the strongest observation in this entire reading. The Nine of Cups says, I have achieved what I wanted. And the next card gently asks and says, wonderful. Now, what is next? The fulfillment of Nine Cups is not the end of the story. It is what gives you the confidence, the stability, and the genuine inner satisfaction that makes the next adventure possible. Fulfillment is not a place to stay forever, it is a launching pad. And for Pile B, the launch is coming. Let's take a look at what your last Osho universal message is. We have traveling. Wow. And I want you to really look at this card before I say anything about it. Because the image tells you everything about the energy that is arriving in your next quarter. A lone figure riding through a vast, expansive sky. I hope you can see the lone figure here. It's a very tiny one. The atmosphere here is almost dreamlike, wide open, boundless, the kind of space that makes everything that felt small suddenly feel possible. And the destination is not visible yet. You cannot see where the traveler is going, but look at how they are riding. Not frantically, not desperately, not running from something, completely committed to the journey itself, trusting the movement itself more than any specific endpoint. That is the energy of your next quarter, Pile B. This is the message from the universe, traveling. And what it represents is not travel in literal sense. Although for some people in Pile B, that may indeed be part of what is coming. What it represents at its core is movement into your next chapter. A life that has been building, consolidated, achieving, now being invited to expand into something bigger. And here is the philosophy woven into this card that I find so powerful in the context of this reading. Osho taught that the moment you think you have arrived, your growth stops. He spoke of life as an endless river, always moving, always fresh. He warned against becoming attached to achievements, identities, or comfort zones, not because those things are not valuable, but because clinging to them is what eventually turns a life of expansion into a life of stagnation. The traveling card is a universe saying you have built something meaningful with the Emperor energy. You have enjoyed it and recognized it with the Nine of Cups energy. Now, do not mistake the next chapter for the whole story. Do not become so attached to what you have built that you stop being willing to grow beyond it. The next quarter for Pile B carries the energy of being called towards something bigger. A new opportunity, a direction you have not taken before, a version of yourself that is larger, freer, and more expansive than the version that built what currently exists. And remember the number I told you in the beginning, 8 on this card? In numerology, 8 is momentum, mastery through experience, and power in motion. Not the power that sits and accumulates, the power that moves forward, that takes everything he learned and carries it to the next level. 8 is the energy of someone who has earned their momentum through consistent effort and is now ready. I feel genuinely ready to use it. You have earned this momentum, Pile B. The traveling card says it is time to ride. Now, let me bring all these three cards together and give you the complete picture of what the next quarter is showing for Pile B. This spread tells one of the most satisfying stories I've pulled in a long time. What makes it so complete is that each card does a different and necessary job in what is coming. The Emperor came first, showing the foundation, the discipline, the consistent, responsible, sometimes unglamorous work of building something solid. Not exciting in every moment, but essential. Because what you have created with the Emperor energy is real. It is not built on luck or wishful thinking. It is built on effort, intention, and showing up when it was hard. Followed by the Nine of Cups, the wish fulfilled, the moment of genuine satisfaction. The universe saying, look at what you created and actually look at it. Let it land for you. Let yourself feel as good about it as it deserves to feel. For Pile B, this quarter brings moments of real recognition from others and from yourself about the value of what you have built and who you have become in the process of building it. And lastly, the traveling arrives for us. Not as a disruption to everything the Emperor and the Nine of Cups created, but as a natural step of it. Because fulfillment is not meant to be a final destination, it is meant to be a launching pad. You have worked hard to build something meaningful, and it is absolutely right and good to enjoy everything you have achieved. But do not mistake this next chapter for the whole story. Life is inviting you to take everything you have learned, the Emperor discipline, the Nine of Cups satisfaction, the wisdom that comes from having built and enjoyed something real and stepping into something even bigger. Your greatest growth may begin the very moment you are willing to move beyond what is already comfortable. Now, that is for Pile B. This is your next quarter. Build, enjoy, then expand. Trust the journey even when the destination is not yet fully visible. The traveling card says the momentum itself is the point. Welcome to Pile C. If this pile called to you, I want you to know something before I flip a single card. This pile chose the people who are in the middle of something real, not something surface level, not something that can be resolved with a quick fix or a positive affirmation, something that goes deeper than that. A genuine internal shift that has been happening, perhaps quietly, perhaps uncomfortably, and that the next quarter is going to bring into much clearer focus. If that resonates, comment I receive below, because what these cards are showing for pile C is not the easiest reading for all the three piles, but it may be the most significant one. And before I flip these cards, I also want to point out to something about the final card in this pile. It carries the number 14, which in numerology reduces to 5. 5 is a number of change, freedom, and growth, but not chaotic change, not change that dismantles everything without purpose. Change that creates inner balance, change that moves you through transformation without losing yourself in the process. That is the energy anchoring Pile C's next quarter. And it gives context to everything these three cards are about to reveal. Death. And before anything else, I need you to hear what this card actually means. Because the death card is the most feared and most misread card in all of tarot. And I do not want the image to close you off before I have had the chance to tell you what it is actually saying. The death card in tarot almost never means physical death. What it means, what it has always meant, is transformation. The complete and total ending of one thing so that something genuinely new can begin. The shedding of a skin that has been outgrown. The closing chapter so final and so complete that there is no going back through that door. Not destruction for its own sake, purposeful, necessary, and irreversible change. Now, look at the image. Death rides forward on a white horse. white, not black, which is very, very significant in this card. White is the color of purification, of something being made clean and something being cleansed. The figure in this image are not being punished, they are being transformed. The sun rises in the background behind the two towers because even in the image of ending, the lighting is already beginning. This is the card that is opening Pile C's next quarter. Something is ending or is already ended or is in the final stages of completing its ending. And for Pile C people, I want to be very specific about what kind of ending this is because death is never random in where it lands. It does not come for things that are meant to last. It always comes for what has been outgrown, for the version of yourself, the belief, the dynamic, the pattern that the relationship with a situation or a person that no longer fits who you are becoming. The death card is precise. It removes exactly what needs to be removed and leaves everything that is genuinely yours intact. And here is a connection to the integration card that follows, and it is one of the most beautiful symbolic pairing in this entire reading. Death clears away what no longer belongs. Integration helps you embrace who remains. Death removes your old identity. Integration allows the new self to feel complete. Without death, there is nothing new to integrate. The ending for you is not tragedy, is what I can see here. The ending is a prerequisite for everything that comes after it. Justice reversed. And this card is the one that tells me what has been sitting underneath the surface of this transformation. What has been making the ending the death card describes feel even heavier than the ending usually feels. Justice upright is a card of fairness, of balance, of cause and effect playing out exactly as it should. The scales held evenly, truth being weighed honestly on both the sides, outcomes matching what was actually deserved. Now, reversed, that balance breaks. And I want to be very specific about what justice reversed means in this position because it is pointing to something more important about the internal landscape of Pile C people right now. Justice reversed here is not primarily about external unfairness. Although that may be a part of it, it is pointing to something more personal, an inner imbalance, a place where self judgment has been operating more harshly than the situation actually deserved, where guilt, resentment, or a story about what was fair and what was not has been quietly draining energy that could have been going towards healing, where some part of you has been holding a verdict against yourself or against a situation that I feel has kept you from being fully moving through what the death card has been trying to complete. This is what justice reversed is showing in the middle of this spread. Not an accusation, an observation. There is something in how you have been relating to this transition. Some judgment, some sense of unfairness, some inner accounting that has not yet been balanced. That has been keeping the ending from fully landing for you. Like trying to close a door while still holding it partially open with one hand. This is where the connection to the integration part becomes so important. The integration does not promise that the outside world suddenly becomes fair. It does not arrive and tell you that the scales have been balanced by external forces or that the situation has been resolved in the way it should have been. It is what instead saying something far more powerful and something far more within your reach is there. The balance you have been seeking does not have to begin outside. The balance you have been seeking, it can begin within you. Now, once you stop needing your inner peace to depend on external fairness, once you find the balance inside yourself first, you becoming to respond to life's most imperfections with clarity rather than reacting from pain. Justice reversed into integration is a card saying stop waiting for the world to be fair before you allow yourself to be whole. Let's see what the universal message is for you. Integration. Wow. I love how this has landed as a story for you. And I want you to really look at this card because the image is one of the most visually complete descriptions of what is coming for pile C that I could have asked for. A yin and a yang symbol. Now, the yin and the yang symbol are held in glowing hands. Above it is a face split into two halves, a masculine and a feminine, warm reds and cool blues, light and shadow. All of it held together in one image without one side overpowering the other. Celestial imagery surrounding everything. And the overwhelming feeling of the image is not tension between the two opposites, it is resolution. The two sides not fighting each other anymore, simply existing together as a complete and whole. That is what is coming for pile C in the next quarter. Not perfection, not the resolution of every external conflict or the correction of every injustice the justice reverse card pointed to. Something more profound than that and more personally significant. I feel wholeness, the ending of the inner fragmentation, the part of you has been fighting itself, judging itself, dividing itself into acceptable and unacceptable, strong and weak, moving forward and still holding on. That division is what is being and beginning to heal for you. Now, this is the Osho Zen integration card, number 14, which reduces to 5. And what it carries at its core is the Osho teaching that life is not meant to be lived in extremes. He spoke often about transcending opposites rather than choosing between them. Instead of asking which side is right, awareness asks, can both sides exist together? And integration happens when we stop dividing ourselves into good and bad and simply becoming conscious of everything we are. For pile C, this is the most important message in the next quarter. The death card ended something. The justice reversed revealed where inner imbalance has been keeping that ending from completing. And the integration says what comes now is not another battle, it is a settling, a coming home to yourself, the exhale after a long internal struggle, strength and softness, logic and intuition, action and rest, and light and shadow. All of it is yours, all of it is welcome, none of it in conflict anymore with each other. And the number 5 energy of this card, change, freedom, growth, tells you something more important about how this integration arrives. It does not arrive through force or discipline or just deciding to be different. It arrives through awareness, through the willingness to stop fighting what is true about yourself and simply allow all of it to exist without judgment. 5 is adaptability, and integration is the most adaptive state there is. The state where you no longer need to be the only one because you have made peace with being everything you actually are. Now, let me bring all of these three cards together and give you a complete picture of what the next quarter is showing for pile C. This spread tells a story of transformation that has already begun and what the next quarter completes. Death arrived first, removing something that has been outgrown, not taking what was yours, but clearing what was no longer serving who you are becoming. The ending felt significant because it was significant for you, because things that mattered were involved. But the death card does not come for things that are meant to last. And its arrival, however uncomfortable, was absolutely precise for you. Now, the justice reverse revealed the layer underneath that ending, the inner imbalance, the self judgment, the sense of unfairness that has been quietly holding the transformation in place, keeping the suspended between what ended and what is next, like a door that has been closed but not yet fully released. And integration arrives as the answer to both, not by fixing what was unfair externally, not by undoing what the death card completed, but by offering something far more within your reach. That is the possibility of becoming whole on the inside, regardless of what remains unresolved on the outside. Real transformation is not just about letting go of the old, it is also about embracing every part of who you are becoming. As old patterns fall away and inner imbalances begin to heal, you step into a version of yourself that feels more complete, more peaceful, more authentic than before. That is pile C. That is your next quarter. Release, rebalance, and become whole again. The most significant growth of your life does not always feel like expansion. Sometimes it feels like finally coming to rest inside yourself. That is what is coming for you, and it is enough.